Have you ever met someone who seemed different, but not in an obvious way? Someone who wasn't loud, yet commanded attention? Who wasn't aggressive, yet impossible to control? Someone who didn't fit into any category, yet somehow existed above them? They disrupt social norms without trying. They do not seek approval, yet they are noticed. They do not chase power, yet they are respected. They're called Sigma males, lone operators. Men who move through society as if they belong to no one but themselves. They are not outcasts, yet they do not conform. They are not rebels, yet they refuse control. And because of this, they possess traits that others find difficult to understand. But why? What is it about them that makes people uneasy? What do they do differently? And most importantly, why do most people feel threatened by it? This is 10 weird things that Sigma men do that others fear. Stick with me, you will like along the way. 1. They ask questions they already know the answers to. They ask questions with a calm face, already knowing the answer. Not to correct you, not even to prove you wrong, just to see how you respond. They study your words, your hesitations, the little shifts in your tone. It's not about the facts, it's about you, your mind, your patterns, your ability to stand by what you say. If you lie, they won't always call you out. They observe your reactions, your justifications, subtle shifts in your demeanor as you try to navigate their carefully laid trap. That's the real test. They enjoy watching you scramble, crafting excuses or bending reality. This is like watching a magician reveal their own tricks, except the magician doesn't know he's being watched. Imagine a wolf watching a rabbit dig its own burrow. The Sigma doesn't interrupt. He studies. A 2017 study in Journal of Nonverbal Behavior found humans often disclose more when met with silence than interrogation. It triggers a primal urge to fill voids, to justify, to confess. Sigmas weaponize this instinct. Their stillness isn't passive. It's a mirror reflecting your insecurities back at you. You'll scramble to patch holes they never pointed out while they stand anchored in the calm of knowing. This behavior aligns with certain aspects of Machiavellianism, a personality trait characterized by manipulation and a focus on self-interest. While not everyone who asks loaded questions is a full-blown Machiavellian, the tactic itself echoes the core principles of the philosophy. This behavior isn't about superiority, it's about testing your trustworthiness. Most people defend their lies instinctively out of fear or ego, and in those moments, their real selves emerge. Sigma males don't challenge you with force, they let you expose yourself. Some see this as manipulative, but it's not deception, it's observation. They want to see if you believe your own falsehoods, if you'll double down, or if you'll admit the truth. 2. They choose who deserves their help. Have you ever noticed that some people seem cold and selective, even in helping? Sigma males don't help everyone, not because they lack empathy, but because they understand that not everyone is worthy of it. They don't believe in blind kindness. Help is an investment, and they choose where to place it. If they respect you, if they see strength or potential in you, they might guide you, even without you asking. But if they dislike your character, your values, or your way of thinking, they will either ignore you or, at times, even mislead you, not out of cruelty, but to ensure that only the right people rise. This is where they differ from others. Most people help based on guilt, social obligation, or a need for validation, but Sigma males act based on reason. They know that helping the wrong person, someone weak-willed, dishonest, or lazy, only strengthens those traits, and that's dangerous. Some people do not seek wisdom, they seek an easy way out. Helping them is like feeding a parasite. It doesn't cure them, it makes them dependent. Psychologists call this selective altruism, the ability to choose when and where to be kind. Many fear it because it goes against the idea of helping itself. But Stoicism teaches that virtue is not in blind generosity, it is in wisdom. Helping the wrong person is no different from harming the right one. So, a Sigma male walks the line carefully. If they help you, you should ask yourself why. If they don't, you should ask yourself that too. 3. They disappear without warning. Ever had someone just vanish from your life? No explanation, no closure, just gone. Sigma males do this often, not out of malice, but because they understand the value of their time and energy. When they see no more reason to stay, whether in a conversation, a friendship, or even a job, they leave. No drawn-out goodbyes, no justifications. They simply remove themselves. Most people struggle with this because they crave closure. They want explanations. They want emotional resolution. But Sigma males don't believe in unnecessary words. If something no longer serves them, they detach instantly. This is not avoidance. It is discipline. The world teaches people to linger, to entertain toxic relationships out of politeness, to stay in places where they are no longer growing. But Sigma males reject that. If a situation drains them, they step away. If a person disrespects them, they cut ties. No confrontation, no drama, just silence. And that silence speaks louder than any argument ever could. Philosophically, this aligns with the Stoic belief in non-attachment. Marcus Aurelius once wrote that everything is ephemeral, including relationships. To cling to what no longer serves you is to chain yourself to suffering. Sigma males understand this deeply. They don't hold on, they let go. And while others fear this level of detachment, they embrace it, because in the end, only the things worth keeping will ever follow. They don't break a sweat. Have you ever met someone who remains eerily calm when everything around them is falling apart? Did it unsettle you? Most people panic in chaos. They look for someone to lead them, to tell them what to do. But Sigma males, they remain still, unshaken. Where others see disaster, they see patterns. While others react, they observe. This isn't because they don't feel fear. It's because they don't let fear dictate their actions. Their minds work differently. They thrive in uncertainty, moving through it like a predator through the night, calculated, controlled. Psychologically, this ability is linked to high stress tolerance and cognitive flexibility, the skill to adapt quickly without emotional disruption. In extreme situations, the average person's brain floods with stress hormones, impairing rational thought. Sigma males, however, have trained themselves to resist this instinct. They embrace discomfort, treating it as just another part of life. This is why they often excel in crisis. They do not crumble, they calculate. Stoicism aligns with this mindset. The world is unpredictable, and to expect stability is to set yourself up for disappointment. The Stoics believed that true strength lies in accepting uncertainty, not fearing it. A storm will come, whether you like it or not. The only question is, will you stand in the rain, waiting for it to end, or will you walk forward with an umbrella? 5. They are like ghosts. Have you ever walked into a room and immediately felt the pressure to blend in? To adjust your tone, your opinions, even your posture, just to be accepted? Sigma males don't feel that pressure, not because they think they're superior, but because they genuinely don't care about social conformity. Most people shape themselves to fit the environment, afraid of standing out, afraid of being the outsider. But Sigma males, they embrace it. They move through society like ghosts, present but never fully absorbed. They can interact, adapt, and even lead when necessary, but they do not belong to the crowd. Psychologically, this detachment comes from a deep sense of self. Studies on social conformity, like Ash's experiment, show that most people will agree with a group even when they know the group is wrong. The fear of isolation is stronger than the need for truth. Sigma males are the exception. They do not bend their reality to match others. If the crowd moves left, they can go right, not to rebel, but if right path seems more suitable for his values. Stoicism teaches that the opinions of others are irrelevant to one's inner peace. Marcus Aurelius wrote that it is foolish to seek validation from those who don't even understand themselves. Sigma males live by this. They do not follow trends. They do not chase approval. They walk alone, not because they have to, but because they choose to. And that kind of freedom, it terrifies those who need the crowd to feel secure. 6. They are not easily influenced. Have you ever wondered why some people change their opinions so easily? Why they adopt new beliefs, trends, or ideologies without question? Sigma males don't do that. Their minds are not open fields, ready to be planted with every passing idea. They are fortified walls, letting in only what they have examined, tested, and found to be true. Most people are shaped by the media they consume, the people around them, or the fear of standing alone. But Sigma males, they filter everything. They listen, but they do not absorb. They analyze, but they do not conform. Their beliefs are their own, not borrowed. Psychologists call this low susceptibility to social influence. Research in behavioral science by Cialdini shows that humans are wired to mimic those around them. It's a survival instinct. The need to belong makes people agreeable even when they doubt what they're agreeing to. But Sigma males operate differently. They value logic over belonging. If an idea is weak, they reject it. If a belief is flawed, they dismantle it. And if someone tries to persuade them without reason, they see through it immediately. Stoicism aligns with this. A Stoic does not let external forces control his mind. He remains sovereign over his own thoughts, immune to manipulation. Sigma males embody this. They do not follow without reason, they do not obey without question. And because of this, they are feared, not for their power, but for their resistance to control. You cannot move a man who only moves by his own will. 7. They can walk away from anything. Have you ever held onto something long past its value? An argument, a relationship, a belief, simply because you were afraid to let go? Sigma males don't have this kind of issue. They can walk away from anything, anyone, at any time, no strings attached. Not because they are cold or heartless, but because they refuse to be chained by attachment. Not like they won't try to fix, but they can analyze whether can it be fixed or just a time waste. If something no longer serves them, if it threatens their peace, or if it demands more than it gives, they leave. No second guessing, no emotional struggle, just a clean break. This ability terrifies most people. Society teaches attachment as a virtue. You were told that loyalty means endurance, that success means persistence. But there's a fine line between commitment and self-destruction. Sigma males see that line clearly. They know that holding onto a sinking ship doesn't save it. It only drags you down with it. And so, they cut the rope before the weight becomes unbearable. Psychologists recognize this as high detachment tolerance. While most people fear losing what is familiar, Sigma males do not associate their identity with what they possess, be it relationships, status, or material things. This is deeply aligned with Stoicism. A Stoic does not mourn what is lost because he understands that nothing truly belongs to him. To walk away is not to lose, it is to free yourself. And freedom? That is something few are truly prepared for. 8. They are unpredictable on purpose. Have you ever met someone whose actions you couldn't quite predict? Someone who didn't follow a pattern, making it impossible to anticipate their next move? Sigma males do this deliberately. They do not make their thoughts or intentions obvious. They don't reveal their full plans, their emotions, or their weaknesses. This makes people uneasy, because most rely on predictability to feel in control. People want to put other people's in a box, so that they can predict their movement. But when someone doesn't react the way they expect, it disrupts their understanding of how people should behave. Psychologists call this strategic unpredictability. It's often seen in highly independent thinkers and those trained in psychological warfare. The human brain seeks patterns. Once it identifies a person's habits, it builds expectations. But Sigma males avoid this trap. They change their routines, they alter their social presence, and they never give away more than necessary. They understand that predictability is a weakness. If people can anticipate you, they can control you. This aligns with Stoicism in an indirect way. The Stoic does not live to be mysterious, but he also does not live to be understood. He does not owe the world an explanation for his every move. Sigma males take this further. They use unpredictability as a shield, keeping their true thoughts and intentions hidden, not for deception, but for control. Because in a world where everyone is trying to be understood, the man who remains unreadable holds the greatest power. 9. They cannot be manipulated by status or authority. Have you ever noticed how most people instinctively respect someone just because they have a title or a position of power? The Sigma males don't fall for this. They are immune to authority unless it is backed by real substance. A suit, a badge, or a title means nothing to them if the person wearing it has no wisdom or strength. While most people instinctively submit to social hierarchies, Sigma males do not. They do not see power as something to be feared, but as something to be judged. If they do not respect the individual, they do not obey them. If they see flaws in a leader, they challenge them, silently or directly. This terrifies people because society is built on control. Governments, corporations, and social groups function smoothly because people follow orders without question. But a Sigma male disrupts this system. He cannot be led by force, nor can he be manipulated by flattery or intimidation. He listens, but he does not conform. He observes, but he does not blindly trust. And when someone tries to use their rank to control him, they quickly realize their power has no effect. Psychologically, this is linked to reactance theory, the instinctive pushback people feel when they sense their freedom being restricted. But while most react emotionally, Sigma males respond with calculation. They do not rebel for the sake of rebellion, nor do they resist just to prove a point. They simply do not accept authority unless it earns its place. And in a world where control depends on obedience, a man who cannot be ruled is a man who is feared. 10. They are completely self-sufficient. Have you ever noticed how most people rely on others for their sense of security, emotionally, financially, or even just for direction in life? Sigma males don't. They are entirely self-sufficient not just in survival but in mind. They do not need a group to feel strong, nor a partner to feel complete. If they lost everything today, their friends, their job, their reputation, they would rebuild without hesitation, because they never depended on those things to begin with. This is what unsettles people. Society functions on interdependence. Everyone needs something from someone. But a Sigma male, he moves like a lone wolf, perfectly fine on his own. He may have allies, he may have relationships, but they are choices, not necessities. His emotions are under his control. His path is self-directed, and his sense of worth is not tied to anyone else's approval. People fear this level of independence because it makes them question their own attachments. Psychologists call this high self-efficacy, the belief that one can handle life's challenges without relying on external support. Stoicism takes this even further, teaching that a man's true strength lies in his ability to remain whole no matter what he loses. Sigma males embody this fully. They do not seek rescue, they do not beg for guidance. They are the answer to their own problems. And in a world where control is often disguised as help, the man who needs nothing is the man they cannot control. Thanks for watching.